Hey guys, almost Unreal here. And we're going back to basically the information that we already got pretty much bombarded with a couple of days ago with Blizzard and their acquisition, well, Vicarious Visions merger into their company. Now, there has been some other information that actually just dropped that we know of. Basically, with their dismantling of their Classics division and then absorbing Vicarious Vision, maybe this has something to do with the fact that they were tired of the Warcraft 3, wanted to basically that team got released, and that's where Vicarious Visions comes into play. Probably the biggest news besides this is that the studio head of Vicarious Vision is now EVP. That's really huge, executive vice president, and that means most likely what they're going to be doing is taking that crew and really probably delving into some of their games other than Diablo 2. Speculation right now, but to grab that many people, to put somebody in that position, it really tells a lot. Basically, they came in like we know that Tony Hawk, they did a remake of 1 and 2, Crash Bandicoot, and they brought in 200 persons that will basically be within Blizzard now from this remake company. And it's really awesome because it looks like there is a pretty big, without them officially saying, it looks like it's a pretty big yes or big go on Diablo 2 Remake. Maybe the in-house people from the Warcraft 3 division that were considered the, I guess, Team 1, the ones that really don't deal with patches of the older games and stuff like that, are actually doing the remake. Now they actually have a official remake team. Awesome. So I would say that 99.9% the Diablo 2 remake or reimagine is going to be in the works. And we probably won't get anything, till BlizzCon, maybe midsummer, something of that nature, because we had speculations that it was going to come out after the 20th anniversary. Didn't happen, but that's probably because they saw how much bad rep they basically got and PR from what they did with Immortal. Immortal actually looks really good. Not my cup of tea because I don't play, cell phone games. It's not what I use it for anyways. And it's nice to see that at least they put in that kind of effort, especially an outside team. So if what they have done with Tony Hawk Pro Skater and them becoming, having an executive vice president, having 200 new people in there, they've already done really well with remasters. Most likely we're going to see a Diablo 2 and maybe expansions, other stuff like that. I don't really know where they could go, though. I mean, you're looking at StarCraft 2. I think that's solid. They don't really need to do anything there. If they are doing Diablo 2, that's awesome. Are they going to do Diablo 1? Who knows? Would they do a StarCraft 2? That doesn't make any sense. So I don't know where they would go with this kind of division of just having 200 new people infused just for one remake. So it'll be interesting to see exactly where they're going to go with that. As you can see here, we've been collaborating with Blizzard for some time now, have built a great relationship, been able to share our respective strengths and learn from each other. Sorry about that. Let me get something to drink real quick. Anil wrote of Vicarious Vision, "It's also become clear that we have an alignment in our values, particularly in our quality bars. We are setting ourselves with passion and making epic experiences." That's pretty awesome. I mean, to be maybe in that realm where they needed some fresh blood, somebody to see what a remake could really come about, because Diablo 2 is, for me and for a lot of people, and I apologize for the coughing, it's one of those things where I don't know we didn't know how they were going to do it. There are some remakes and some tweaks and mods and stuff like that at least get it up to 60 FPS, where it actually isn't technically 60 FPS. It still runs at its original, I believe it's 24 FPS, but it visually shows 60 FPS. So there's like a workaround, and maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe that's what they're kind of gonna make the remaster of, and hopefully it's a remaster. I don't want them to really change anything else other than that. What does it say? Long-standing IPs such as Hearthstone and World of Warcraft have remained in a steady state, but Blizzard... That's another thing. Could they redo or remake or be involved in doing the remake up to what... I don't know what expansion you'd really go with, but with World of Warcraft. Would those get kind of like brought into their old world? Like, what patch? What would they land on? I mean, are they going to go through Lich King? There is rumblings that there is World of Warcraft, basically Draenor. That's going to be coming out. Actually, no. Oh my gosh, it's been actually a while since I've played World of Warcraft. Yeah, Burning Crusades, Wrath, Legion. I mean, where would you leave off? Cataclysm? I mean, I jumped off with Wrath of the Lich King, so how is that going to play out? I don't know. It's definitely something that's going to be very, very big to see what they're going to do, and it's pretty awesome that we're getting more and more information, what they're looking to do. Could they go into those realms? I don't know, but if they definitely go into doing World of Warcraft and like kind of fixing those or getting those to a state where you could do basically their own IPs, kind of secondary IPs of Classic. Like Classic is going to be the new thing, which is kind of funny because that's basically what EverQuest does. EverQuest, their subscription really based off now is going back from original EverQuest and then going through Kunark and Velios and going through those. But I don't know if they had such a big hurdle as World of Warcraft does, because World of Warcraft has reinvented itself and done new graphics and new, techniques and the way spells cast, all those kind of things, the way melee works out. So them going back to previous patches and finding a stable patch, that could be awesome. Maybe that's something that really could be a mainstay, because I could see people even going back and doing Classic again, depending on that. I don't know if Warcraft would do the same thing as EverQuest, but it's kind of interesting to see where that could go. Other than that, I'm going to leave these links definitely in the description, but we got two other notes in this video today. So Carnage, who is huge as a streamer, very respected. I respect him a lot. I love his content. And the biggest thing is that he's actually with DevStream with Pantheon. Probably one of the most anticipated game MMO that's really coming around. And the best thing I saw from this video, if you definitely want to take a look, I suggest basically it's in the realm, I would say, of Elder Scrolls and Skyrim, but it has EverQuest kind of all mashed together. So it has the nice graphics. They've really updated the graphics, I must admit, in this pre-alpha. But it has that feel, and especially in an MMO form, I think it's going to be deadly. So that's something I definitely want you people to look into. And if you have any more questions, I'm going to definitely probably make another video on this as soon as I possibly can, because I'm really, really a fan of Pantheon. And then lastly, something that I don't play a ton of, I'm not a big into horror games. It's just something I've never really been into, but I love watching players that are really good at it or that can make it entertaining. So with the new Resident Evil that came out, it looks, and basically it was just a demo so far, but it's not Resident Evil Village. It looks very similar to Resident Evil 4, at least to me. And to some other streamers that are out there. They've really noticed that it's kind of got those similarities, and maybe it has the potential of actually making a Resident Evil 4 remake. So this is kind of funny. Same thing that Blizzard has done. Capcom has basically seen what has been produced by their outside sources for Remake 4 and said, nope, we're done. This is kind of a huge, basically, this is a huge game. It has meant a lot. It's like Final Fantasy VII for a lot of people. It really jump-started a different genre, and Capcom, it wants to put a cherry on the top. And it looks like they have pulled it back in-house, or are going to produce it themselves, which is really awesome. And for the mainstay, they have been at this, from what it looks like, since 2018. And now they're like, nope, we're going to bring it back into in-house. We're going to develop ourselves. So we're looking at most likely maybe a 2022, I would say most likely 2023 release, if there is a release of Remake, which is good. I want all these companies that have been around a long time to notice and see, and maybe with Cyberpunk and what happened with them, but notice that if you guys bring out a quality game, people are going to really latch onto it, jump on your specific brand, and run with it. If Blizzard can get back in the good graces, awesome. I would love to see that happen. I don't know if it will, but it's something, this is kind of promising. At the same time, it's still a little leery. And the only reason I say that is because Diablo 2 is huge. For me and for a lot of people, it was one of those games that really, especially in our teenage years, it was it. Like, it was the game. And I don't want to see it really screwed over, like I said in my previous video. So it'll be nice to see. But other than that, I'm going to leave all these in the description. Check them out. If you have any questions, leave a comment. And hopefully we can get some more information on Diablo 2 Remake. Later, guys.